Welcome to CINEPRO, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. The Story Killers begins when we see a man in a dark room focused on getting rid of a body. There is a strange and unsettling calmness on his face, clearly showing that this is not the first time he has done this, and that he has killed many people before. We learn together that this man's name is Nomura, a crazy but very smart serial killer who calculates every step and never leaves any evidence behind. He believes that brutal murder is a form of art, and he wants the whole world to see and talk about his art. Only a few hours had passed since his last murder, but that didn't stop his thirst for blood. He went out again, looking for a new victim to hunt late at night. On his way, he saw a girl trying to push her little brother in front of a car to kill him, and when she couldn't, she tried to kill herself with him, but the car driver managed to hit the brakes at the last moment and saved their lives. Nomura followed her and saw that she had a flower shop nearby. At that moment, he decided that she would be his next victim, no matter what happened. The next day, he went to her shop pretending to be a customer buying flowers. He wanted to know more about her and get closer and closer, but then an old man came in and caught Nomura's attention. At the same time, some kids scratched his car, and he started yelling at them hysterically. Nomura told the girl, "Just 1 minute, I'll be right back." Then he went to the old man and whispered something in his ear that made him sweat without saying a word. The old man ran away like a mouse. Nomura came back to the shop and bought more flowers. When he found out the girl's business wasn't doing well, he asked her to wrap more flowers so he could win her trust little by little. She asked, "Sir, what did you say to that man to make him so quiet? He never stays quiet." Nomura smiled and answered, "I told him I took down his car's license plate number, and if he ever yells at those kids again, I'll follow him, cut him into pieces, and throw him in the river." Hisai thought he was joking, but she couldn't imagine the truth behind that smile. His victims always trusted him easily. Later that night, Nomura went to a somewhat deserted cyber cafe. There, he uploaded all his murder videos to the dark web. Every time, he worked with extreme caution, wiping his fingerprints from the keyboard so the police couldn't link anything to his crimes or find his location. As soon as the video was uploaded to the dark web, people all over the world who were on the dark web started watching and sharing it. We see a man in Indonesia watching Nomura's videos with intense focus. We also learn that this man's name is Bayu. On the outside, he seems like a normal person, but he really enjoys watching these violent videos. Bayu used to be a professional journalist, but he was so honest in his work that he once got into trouble with a powerful man. That man stabbed Bayu in the stomach, and now his situation has forced him to work as a photographer, a job he wasn't good at, and that didn't pay well. Once, Bayu was trying to cover a popular story, but when he couldn't get any footage, he started chasing his target himself to get exclusive shots and prove to people that he was still a brave journalist. The target was named Dharma, a powerful businessman with influence. As soon as Dharma found out that this was the same journalist who had ruined his reputation before, he sent his men, who gave Bayu a proper beating. They didn't just beat him, they also broke his camera and slashed his car tires so he couldn't chase them. The next day, Bayu learned that the court had acquitted Dharma of beating his wife because of his connections and influence. As soon as he heard this, the last bit of hope he had was completely shattered, and he was filled with anger and tension. Bayu went back to watching violent videos to escape his frustration, but suddenly his daughter walked in, so he quickly closed the laptop so she wouldn't see anything. After that, Bayu took his daughter Layla to her mother. Bayu loved his wife Dina very much, but after he lost his job, he became tense and nervous all the time. This tension gradually created a rift in their relationship, and eventually Dina divorced him and decided to stay away from him. Now, because Dharma's men had slashed his car tires, he called a taxi to go home. The trip was long, and the night was quiet. He dozed off, but when he woke up, he saw that the driver had entered a deserted, unlit area. After a while, the driver's friend got in the car, pointed a gun at Bayu's head, and tried to rob him by force. They wanted to film him in a compromising situation to blackmail him and steal more money. Bayu tried to defend himself, but he was alone, and things quickly turned into a physical fight. Blood started to flow in the car. One of them attacked violently, but in a moment of despair, Bayu grabbed the gun tightly and without hesitation blew one of their heads off. The other quickly tried to reload the gun, but before that, Bayu took the gun and rained bullets on him while trembling in shock. On the other side, we see Nomura, who trapped a new girl in his web. She had no idea that the gentleman she saw was actually one of the most dangerous serial killers. Nomura took her home, and did to her what he had done to the other girls before her. She begged him for mercy and cried until her voice was silenced. But the more she begged, the worse Nomura became. In the end, he put a bat in her mouth and broke all her teeth, then cut her up and started eating her raw flesh. Back in Indonesia, when Bayu opened his eyes, he was in great pain. We see that after he killed the thieves, he filmed them and uploaded the video to the dark web. At that time, Nomura also saw the video Bayu had uploaded. He was very impressed with the work, but he never realized that this was the man's first murder. Bayu was easily tracked, and Nomura sent him a video call link. Bayu acted innocent, as if he knew nothing about the previous night, but Nomura, with his skill, warned him that next time he should upload the video from a public server so he wouldn't get caught like an amateur. After that, Bayu went to drop off his daughter at her grandfather's house, where he learned they had found her a new suitor named John, a very successful and good man with all the qualities of a good husband, qualities Bayu himself could never have. Sitting among them, Bayu became even more tense, to the point that his mind became extremely sensitive and he could hear his own heartbeat. Before his head exploded, he got up from among them and walked away without saying a word. Now he couldn't sit among ordinary people for even a minute, and he needed to talk to someone exactly like him who would understand without judging him. So he immediately messaged Nomura and got a reply that he wanted to video call him right away. He put his hand over the camera so his face wouldn't show, and Nomura was also wearing a mask. At that moment, Bayo asked, "Why do you kill people?" Nomura replied, "I used to be just like you. Then one day I stopped thinking and just started feeling. The first time I saw fear in someone's eyes, I felt I existed, just like you, so tell me, who do you want to kill now?" Bayo saw on TV an interview with Harma's lawyer, Robert, who was lying and justifying all the crimes as misunderstandings. After that, he decided Robert would be his victim. This decision was the most decisive in his life. He followed Robert's car, found out where he lived, and every detail about him. Meanwhile, Nomura went to meet Hisai again. Now the two started talking well, and for the first time, Hisai opened her heart to him. She told him her brother had autism, a disease where the child's brain doesn't fully develop, and she'd always felt responsible for him. When she asked about him, she learned his childhood wasn't good. When he was young, his sister and parents died, and the money they got from insurance he used to travel to America, where he worked in a restaurant, then returned to Japan. As he was telling his story, Nomura became very emotional, but at the same time, he told her, "If your brother died, everything would be easier for you, right?" She said, "How dare you talk about my brother like that? Get out of here now." Nomura thought about killing her then, but killing her in broad daylight could be dangerous for him, so angrily he left in silence. To calm the rage inside him, he wanted to kill anyone that night. He gave money to a woman standing in the street and took her with him in his car. As she tried to get close to him, Nomura saw Hisai's face instead of hers, so he slammed the brakes so hard that the woman's head hit the dashboard and her nose bled profusely. Angry, the woman got out of the car cursing him. When her boyfriend saw Nomura had hurt her, he beat him up badly and took all Nomura's money and cards so he wouldn't do it to another woman. Nomura went back home, his blood boiling. On the other side, we see Bayo, who entered Robert's house quietly like a ghost. When Robert saw him, he attacked him in fear to save his life, but Bayo accidentally fired a shot. Luckily, it only grazed Robert. Now Bayo didn't know what to do. Then he heard the sound of someone crying inside the house. Bayo followed the sound slowly. When he lifted the curtain, he found a small child in Robert's bathroom, whom Robert was torturing severely in a horrific way. After that, Bayo beat Robert so hard, Robert said, "Please have mercy." Bayo poured gasoline on him and burned him alive. Finally, he found a reason to kill, for justice for the people. The next day, when he went to meet his daughter, he was upset from the start. When he saw John with her, his anger grew louder, and his behavior made Layla tremble. And Dina couldn't stand him anymore. She screamed, "Get out of here, I never want to see your face again." Meanwhile, in Japan, Nomura met Hisai's brother, who was sitting alone, collapsing in tears. When he asked, he found out the kids at school were bullying him, and today, they even beat him. Nomura explained to him that this world isn't for the weak, and you have to fight back. He gave him a stun gun and told him, "Next time someone bothers you, use this." A little later, Bayo uploaded Robert's video to the dark web. When Nomura saw the video, he couldn't believe that after his first murder, the man turned so savage. So Bayo called him, wanting to know how they do it. Nomura explained that the first time is always easy, but now you'll struggle. The fear of getting caught will keep you from sleeping. But don't worry, they'll never catch us. Now look for the one whose death will make you happiest. Bayo knew exactly who he hated most. He followed Dharma's car and went to his hotel. But when he entered the room, he found he was chasing the wrong man. It was Dharma's son. Now Bayo was confused about what to do. The terrified boy said, "I'm not like my father." As he spoke, Bayo felt his voice was familiar. At that moment, Bayo realized he knew him. Without delay, he shot Dharma's son. On the other side, we see Nomura chasing a girl, and in the midst of it, his eyes landed on the man who had beaten him. As soon as he saw him, his eyes turned red, and he followed him to the club. When the man entered the bathroom, Nomura followed him and said in a loud voice, "So, you recognize me now?" Before the man understood anything, Nomura attacked him with a knife. He used to only kill girls, but this was the first time he killed a man. His mind broke, and his face showed he didn't enjoy it. As he was leaving, he saw the girl who had escaped him that night. Nomura grabbed her, took her out, and beat her until she passed out. As he put her body in the trunk, some officers approached him and told him his car was parked illegally. One of them was suspicious and asked for Nomura's license, noticing he was educated and rich. So his boss told him to let him go. In the midst of this, the girl got out of the car, but before the officers turned around, Nomura stabbed her again and locked her in. On the other side, after killing Dharma's son, Bayo was looking for any way out. A little later, the guards broke down the door and when they saw the body of the son of the most powerful man they immediately started the chase. Bayo was hiding in the closet, but as soon as the guards suspected him, he ran outside. There weren't just one or two, but hundreds of guards saw him. When he saw them, he became faster, getting a strong adrenaline rush as he cut through the crowd and escaped so that no one could catch him. The guards chased him to the basement, but by any means, he was saving his life. Bayo locked the main gate, but they managed to snatch his mask. Luckily, his face was turned the other way, so no one saw his face. On the other side, Nomura was getting ready to kill the girl, and this time he was going to do something very special. Bayo ran all night until he was so exhausted that when he woke up the next morning, his whole body was aching. At that same time, Nomura called Bayo on a video call. After last night's experience, Bayo was already scared, and when he saw Nomura about to kill the girl in front of his eyes, he couldn't bear it, screamed, and tried to stop Nomura. He wanted to know the reason. Why was he killing all these? But Nomura answered that he was doing all this to teach Bayo a lesson. Bayo realized that this man was insane, and that all his victims were innocent people. He pleaded for the girl's life, but none of it was enough to change Nomura's mind. Nomura, with an axe, was about to split the girl's head in two, but at that moment, someone rang the bell. We see that it's Hisai at the door, who wanted to talk to him about her brother. Nomura opened the door, and as soon as Hisai entered, she got angry at him and said, "Based on what you said, my brother attacked his classmates, and there's talk that he'll be expelled from school." Nomura replied, "He's just like me. He loves his sister just as I loved mine, but the difference is, he's weak. I saw last night how you left him in the street for a car to run him over. You actually want to kill him, and I can see that clearly in your eyes." Hisai said, "You don't know the whole truth. That night, I wanted to die with him, but I couldn't. By the way, I love my brother very much, and to make my life easier, I can't even think of killing him." Hisai realized this man was crazy and told him, "From today, please stay away from my brother." On the other side, the girl woke up and Bayo, who was still on the phone, told her to scream as loudly as she could. After a while, Hisai heard the screams. Nomura was about to silence her, but at that moment, he felt it was too late and that he had to kill them both. He tried to strangle Hisai, but she stunned him with her taser and followed the sound of the girl. Finally, she found the torture room. Bayo told them to escape before Nomura returned. As they were leaving, they entered another room, and what they saw was truly terrifying because inside was a completely decomposed corpse. Suddenly, Nomura attacked them, but Hisai quickly hit him on the head with a metal object, knocking him out from the pain, and the two escaped. But as soon as Hisai started the car, Nomura attacked them again. The other girl crawled, trying to escape, but unfortunately Nomura caught her. Then, covered in blood, Nomura approached Bayo and told him that the two really tried, but no matter how fast the prey runs, it never escapes the hunter. Bayo immediately shut his laptop and went to sleep, and when he woke up, he saw his daughter in his house. Dina had come to say goodbye for the last time. Bayo felt he had made a huge mistake and apologized to her, promising to fix everything. Dina tried to understand him, but in the end, she gave in and decided to give the relationship another chance. On the other side, Nomura said goodbye to his sister's corpse for the last time. To start anew, he had to bury the old things with him, so he burned his sister's corpse, which had been there for years. We see Bayo taking his daughter to school, and while Dina was cleaning the house, she found a gun under the pillow. From the sound, Bayo realized she had found something and rushed home immediately. When he returned, he called for Dina, but she didn't answer. He saw a camera, but it wasn't his. When Bayo played the recorded video, he saw someone torturing Dina. With great courage, he opened the bedroom door, but what he saw inside destroyed his whole world, because we see that Nomura had assaulted his wife and cut her body all over with a knife. Bayo sat next to her corpse, crying, and from the brutality, his heart stopped. But Nomura, after killing her, didn't run away. He was standing outside waiting for Bayo. Bayo was going to kill him, but at that moment, a car hit him, and the people inside took him away. Nomura didn't understand what happened, so he followed the car. It turned out those people were Dharma's men. Dharma told him, "What do you think? You wear a mask, kill my son, and never get caught. What did my son ever do to you? Please tell me why you killed that poor boy." His men broke Bayo's arm and leg, and Dharma said, "When your daughter grows up, I'll marry her, and she'll continue my legacy." They were about to kill him, but Nomura started shooting and shot Dharma until he was nearly dead. In the end, he went to Bayo and told him, "Finish what you started." Bayo still couldn't get over the fact that he had killed Dina so brutally. Nomura wanted to make him like himself, so he said, "Kill this man, or I'll kill your daughter." Bayo didn't want to take anyone's life, but when Nomura put the gun to his daughter's head, he had no other choice. He immediately attacked Dharma, strangled him, and killed him brutally. At that moment, Nomura removed the blindfold from his daughter's eyes, and when she saw her father like that, she began to hate him. Nomura said, "I've been trying to tell you for so long that everyone hates you. Even your own daughter hates you. By the way, we can work together and do a really good job. But before that, there's one last little job left." We see he was about to kill Bayo's daughter, but Bayo caught him because he wasn't a monster. He still loved his daughter, even if she hated him. Nomura said, "I thought you were like me, but I was wrong," and then shot Bayo. Bayo, unconscious, lost his balance and started to fall off the building. But before he went, he made his final move. Nomura saw handcuffs on his wrists, and both of them fell from that height so hard that, in a moment, every bone in their bodies was broken. Bayo died instantly, but Nomura was still breathing. At that moment, he saw a boy filming him as he was dying. For the first time, Nomura felt what the people he tortured and killed felt. And with that, our story ends for today. Stay tuned for new videos and summaries. Goodbye.